What Ryan Reynolds forced his daughter to do on Deadpool is one of the most abhorrent things I have ever heard of.
Original line Ryan Reynolds wanted his 7-year-old daughter to say in Deadpool, you know, that had all this is the scene with a lot of Deadpools in which one of them in fact was like a parody of Justin Baldoni. By the way, there was this child Deadpool that had this line is when I want your opinion, I will take my cucumber out of your mouth.
If I told you that according to this Deadpool script, the disgusting lines Kidpool said that's going viral was actually the best option available. And I know you're wondering, Elsie, what the fuck does that even mean? It's either Kidpool says,
"Hey, when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's dick out of your mouth."
Or she says, "Hey, when we want your opinion, I'll take my panini out of your mouth."
You have to understand that the actor, the girl acting, is Ryan Reynolds' daughter.
Ryan Reynolds, widely known for his humor, sarcasm, and playful personality, is now facing criticism for a decision that stirred up more than a few laughs. The controversy began when it was revealed that his 7-year-old daughter, Inz, recorded a line for his upcoming film Deadpool and Wolverine. However, the issue wasn't her involvement, it was the nature of the line. Reportedly explicit, the joke sparked concern among fans and parents alike. Reynolds admitted that Inz was initially hesitant to say it, but instead of honoring her discomfort, he jokingly remarked that she'd be replaced if she didn't, an offhand comment that many felt crossed a line, raising serious questions about parental boundaries and judgment.
Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy break down Deadpool corpse battle. They are so comfortable with this abuse, and they know they won't be held accountable. They know Disney will not hold them accountable for anything, and they actually find it funny. It's laughable to do this to a little 7-year-old girl.
Both are mothers and honor our homeland.
And that he would have low bone density.
Deadpool Prime here.
Poor guy.
Our fight isn't with
Hey,
you.
when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's dick out of your mouth.
That's kid.
Guiltily, that is my daughter,
I'm
Inez.
so sorry we have to admit that.
And I am Father of the Year over here for allowing her to say such language, which, to her credit, she really didn't want to say. And then came back later and said, I want to say it now, when I started looking at other people to play
Yeah,
it.
but Ryan, to our discredit, we made Nezzy do, I'm not shitting you, 70 to 500 versions of that line.
I'm going to pay for that later.
Blake Lively there as Lady Pool, Lady
Matthew
Deadpool.
McConaughey as Cowboy Pool.
McConaughey showing up like a champ
what a
for us.
dreamboat that guy is. What a movie star in the most classic and amazing way.
Nathan Fillion.
It's crazy. I didn't realize Matthew McConaughey was involved in this.
Now, both fans and critics are calling him out for involving a child in something many see as deeply inappropriate. While some dismiss it as just another joke, others argue it points to a much deeper issue, one that Hollywood has overlooked for far too long. The outrage continues to grow, with many asking, where should the line be drawn when it comes to children and entertainment?
Recent developments, not only from the Justin Baldoni lawsuit, but those things that are being unearthed precisely on that script from Deadpool and Wolverine are, well, nothing short of disturbing. I'm going to just jump right into the details, and we have this.
Inez is a girl. Inez is 7 years old. Inez is a child. Inez is your child. Why would you write a line that says your child will take her panini out of your mouth? She doesn't even have a panini, number one. Number two, that's a child. Your child. And you coached her to say this? And then you were like,
Yeah, you wonder what is going on in that house, how they treat each other, how they talk to each other, and don't they, oh, maybe they are so happy, this is all for a show. No. I know my stuff. I know my stuff. When you see people pushing for this kind of stuff on screen, it's like to see how much they can get away with. And believe me, there's a lot more to talk about.
The controversy began when Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy shared some behind-the-scenes details about the film. During the discussion, Ryan Reynolds made a surprising revelation. His 7-year-old daughter, Inez, had voiced a masked character in the movie. While that fact alone might have seemed harmless, what raised eyebrows was the line she was given to say. In one of the film's more explicit scenes, the masked character delivers a crude insult. "Hey, when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's D out of your mouth."
Show you this. I don't think there will be any doubt in your mind that he is a predator, a bully, a narcissist, a psychopath, and everything else that you can think of, because it is that gross. She was 7 years old at the time. Now, I'll show you, this is one thing he said about her. Only co-star I argued with. Most people think Kid Pool is the dirtiest. Who thinks that your daughter, your 7-year-old daughter, is the dirtiest out of the Deadpool movie, out of all the homophobic, disgusting, in my opinion, sexually predatory lines, filming, everything about this movie is disgusting, especially when you peel back the layers and see what they were doing behind the scenes. And if you actually dissect the lines, they are catastrophically gross. But who thinks that your daughter is the dirtiest? Your daughter, Inez. Why would you put that out there about your child? She's also pretty good at back talk and never taking out the trash. So just like he does with Blake Lively, he's always denigrating his wife. He's always praising another man, especially Hugh Jackman, who he seems to have a deep love and fondness and intimacy with, which in the Deadpool movie is constant gay jokes, constant jokes about essentially raping Wolverine and violating him. It is just nonstop, because Deadpool is supposed to be pansexual. So he's attracted, in their words, to anything that moves. This is what it said about Deadpool. Anything.
Yes, a child was made to say that. Once this detail became public, social media quickly erupted with outrage. Many were shocked that Ryan Reynolds, a father of 4, would allow his young daughter to take part in something so inappropriate. The backlash was swift, with critics accusing him of showing poor judgment not only as an actor, but also as a parent. What made things worse was Reynolds' own admission that Inez had initially refused to say the line. Rather than respecting her discomfort, he joked that she'd be replaced, which reportedly led her to go through with it. For many, this crossed a serious line. When a child says no, that should be the end of the conversation. Instead, she was asked to repeat the line multiple times, with director Sean Levy estimating that she recorded anywhere between 70 and 500 takes.
He completely tries to embarrass and humiliate Blake Lively over and over again publicly while he praises other people. And it looks like the same thing that he does to his wife, he is doing down to his daughter. He seems to have a deep hatred for the women in his family, other than his mother, who participated in the bullying tactics with that little skit that she did.
Ryan Reynolds is facing growing backlash, with some critics accusing him of repeatedly humiliating his wife, Blake Lively, in public while showering praise on others. Now, many believe he's extending that same behavior to his daughter. Some even suggest he harbors a troubling attitude toward the women in his family, except for his mother, who participated in the film's promotion with a controversial skit. The controversy intensified when fans learned that Reynolds had his 7-year-old daughter voice a line in Deadpool and Wolverine that many found highly inappropriate. Outrage quickly spread on social media. One Twitter user wrote, "Ryan Reynolds really had his 7-year-old say that line? This is beyond disturbing." Another commented, "There's nothing funny about making a child say something she was clearly uncomfortable with." Many also pointed out the apparent hypocrisy. Reynolds and Lively have long been outspoken about protecting their children's privacy, often condemning media outlets for photographing their kids without permission. Yet in this instance, Reynolds seemed to go against that principle by involving his daughter in a crude joke for an R-rated film. For many fans, it felt like a blatant contradiction.
This is what they wanted her to say, and they forced her. He He and Blake forced her, Sean Levy, forced her to do this and to practice multiple versions of this. He says 70 to 500 times. What kind of time? What type of number is that? You made this girl practice different iterations of Wolverine having his male genitalia in her father's mouth, Deadpool. And she didn't want to do it because she's a little girl. And she shouldn't have done it. She shouldn't have been forced to do it. And I want you to hear what else they say. That when she didn't want to do it, well, I'm just going to find someone else to do it. And then, no, Daddy, I'll do it. See, when a narcissist, when they're trying to manipulate you, and you can see the grooming starting young here in this situation. To me, I'm not an expert, but as a regular person who has had experience with narcissists, this is what they do.
Even some of the most devoted Deadpool fans found it hard to defend Ryan Reynolds this time. While Deadpool and Wolverine is undeniably an R-rated film aimed at adults, many argued that involving a child in such an explicit joke crossed a line. One fan remarked, "There were so many ways to make that joke work without having a kid say it. This was a conscious choice, and a bad one." The controversy has also reignited broader concerns about how Hollywood treats child actors. For years, the entertainment industry has been criticized for putting young performers in inappropriate or overly mature roles, often under the guise of just acting. From making children deliver lines they don't fully understand to casting them in unsettling scenes, there's a long and troubling history of ethical boundaries being blurred. Now, Ryan Reynolds, a celebrity known for his playful, family-friendly, public image, is being drawn into that larger conversation.
I know that Ryan had cast his 7-year-old daughter, Inez, which is Taylor Swift's goddaughter, in the Deadpool movie. Okay, cute. She's 7. She's ready to be in a film. Maybe this wouldn't be the film of choice for me from a Christian household, but to each their own. And I did know that the daughter, the kid pool, has a potty mouth, which makes sense given the character of Deadpool. You're expecting the kid to have, I guess, a potty mouth, and that's supposed to be funny. I was aware that the kid said some highly inappropriate things, but I had assumed that the kid was in the costume and they likely used either a voice actor or an AI voice tool to say some of those things, because absolutely no person, I don't care how funny you think you are in Hollywood, would want their precious daughter, of all people, to make comments about Hugh Jackman's penis being in their father's mouth. Okay, I just assumed, like, this is not something that you have to investigate any further, because there is no father in his right mind who would want a scene in which his daughter makes a, I guess, homosexual joke about the relationship between him and this Wolverine character, who we're starting to have questions about their relationship in real life. Well, it turns out that I was wrong. I was very wrong on this. And also, he admits in one of these like post-Deadpool interviews that not only did he force her to say it, but that she was not comfortable with the line. And essentially, she wasn't going to do it. And then he was like, I'll just find a different actor. And that's what he says. So he kind of basically forced his daughter to do the line, or else he's going to replace her as an actress in this movie. She's 7 years.
Sean Levy's offhand comment about the scene requiring multiple takes added a deeper layer of concern. If Innes had to repeat the explicit line several times, it wasn't just a fleeting moment. It was something the team deliberately worked to perfect. This raised serious questions about oversight on set. Did no one stop to ask whether it was appropriate to have a child say such a line? Was there truly no one who stepped in to say, maybe this isn't okay? Ryan Reynolds' response to the backlash only intensified the outrage. Rather than addressing the criticism directly, he attempted to laugh it off, joking that he'd pay for it later when Innes grows up. But for many, this wasn't a laughing matter. Critics argued that his reaction reflected a larger problem in Hollywood, where valid concerns about the treatment of children in the industry are too often dismissed or minimized as part of the joke.
Got to spend a minute on Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, okay? I know the ruthless fellas have been all up in this business. And, I mean, no, but seriously, have you followed it at all?
A little bit.
I mean,
Okay.
it's all over the tabloids, so you got to see it a little bit. I don't know if you're an
All
expert,
over the
but-
tabloids.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so for those of you, just a quick two-liner for those of you not following it. They started this movie, It Ends With Us, about domestic violence. It was his movie that he bought the rights for from the woman who wrote the book, Colleen Hoover. Then he managed to convince Blake Lively to star in it with him, and all hell broke loose. She claims he sexual harassed her, and then by the time they premiered the movie, they weren't even speaking to each other. She made him stay in the basement, and Ryan Reynolds turned on him too. And then she claimed that he unleashed a bad PR campaign against her, and he claims none of that is true. There was absolutely no harassment. Those are made-up claims. She wrested his movie away from him and decided to try to hurt him with petty, made-up, out-of-context complaints.
Meanwhile, Blake Lively has remained silent. A noticeable absence given her past efforts to speak out about protecting their children's privacy. Some speculate she may not have been fully aware of the situation until the backlash erupted, while others believe she may be intentionally staying quiet to avoid escalating the controversy. Either way, her silence has left many wondering where she truly stands on the issue.
Seriously, if there are any lawyers in the house, let me know. Am I able to sue Sherry Panini and Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, because this is it's just disgusting. There's another thing. Did you know that Inez, the name of Ryan Reynolds' daughter, is the name of one of the characters? Deadpool, the character in the comics, has horizontal mambo with in the comics. And let's do the math. Like Deadpool, the original Deadpool, the movie was filmed 10 years ago. So Inez was born like 3 years after the movie was even began filming. So it's not like he was not aware of the Deadpool character. And you know that before the movie was greenlighted, they leaked with Tim Miller this little clip.
The controversy shows no signs of fading. Some fans are now urging the studio to remove the line from the film, arguing that it was unnecessary and could have easily been rewritten. Others say Ryan Reynolds owes both the public and, more importantly, his daughter a sincere explanation, not just a dismissive joke. This incident has also prompted many to reevaluate their perception of Reynolds. Known for his witty, self-aware persona and lighthearted humor, he's long been seen as the charming actor who doesn't take himself too seriously. But now, some are questioning whether his humor has crossed a line, especially when it involves his own child.
2022 Forbes Power Women's Summit.
I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into.
At the heart of the issue lies a fundamental question. Where do we draw the line? Is it acceptable for a child to be part of an adult joke they don't fully understand? Should a parent's approval take precedence over common sense? And at what point will Hollywood stop using children for shock value and start prioritizing their well-being? Ryan Reynolds had the chance to make a different choice. He could have scrapped the joke, chosen an adult voice actor, or respected his daughter's hesitation. Instead, he went through with it. And now he's facing the consequences. The larger question is whether he will learn from this experience or continue to treat it as just another joke.